Yeah, good morning folks. Beautiful Monday morning here in Adelaide. I'm heading up to Morgan, 2 hours on the bitumen, and then I'm heading out to Dangalli for a night to ride some of the tracks up there. We were out there recently in the 4-wheel drive and it was bloody good. I've been there before, but not on the bike. So I've just got to negotiate this peak hour traffic on the highway. Not much between here and Morgan, just open road. G'day folks. Well, I'm up here at Morgan on the Murray River, a bit under 200k northeast of Adelaide. I'm heading out to Dangalli Conservation Park. I'll be doing around about 400k between my next fuel ups, so as a result I've got a 5 litre bladder in there. I've got 5 litres in there, water on the other side, all my camping gear, believe it or not, all this stuff for one night, but there's quite a bit of fuel and water. So it's good to see, yeah, 20 litres of fuel, 6 litres of water, and only enough food for 2 days, 3 days, bit of spare. We'll see how we go. G'day folks. Well, I've hit the dirt now. As I said back there in Morgan, I've got about 200k to where before the 4-wheel drive tracks start. And then so all up it's close to 400k, almost 400k anyway, before I get to my next fuel stop. It's all dirt, some sand and 4-wheel drive tracks. We were out here a few weeks ago on a car trip, and I've been out here before. It's really quite nice out here. I've never been on the bike. Yeah, like I said, I got 20 litres of fuel, 6 litres of water, and food for a couple of days. I'm only out here for one night. It's a 2-day trip of about 700k, maybe a touch more. The weather looks good. Let's hit it. When I left Adelaide this morning, it was quite fresh, about 5 degrees, and then all the way up from the north part of Adelaide out to about Kapunda, it was drizzly, a bit of rain, it was quite cool. And as soon as you cross the Goyder line, the sun was out, it's dry, it doesn't even look like it's had rain. Here comes someone. Oh, look at him going sideways, bloody hell, he's a local. There, I'm about 30k out from Morgan now. And it's just all this blue salt bush. And I thought I'd just tell you about my fuel economy on the way up. I sat on about 100k an hour. And I filled up at Morgan, and I worked out that I used I got 23 kilometres from a litre, which is about 230 from a tank on the highway with this luggage. When I'm just doing normal riding, you know, without any luggage, and I'm just a Saturday ride or whatever, I can get 300 or so. But on these dirt roads, I'm only probably sitting on 70 or 80. We'll see how we go with that. I'm sure it'll be a lot better. But at the moment, this track is in very good nick. A few little stones, but I do remember it was good quality road until you almost get to the park. Then it gets a bit sandy in spots. G'day folks. I've just pulled up for a couple of minutes. It's just absolutely silent out here, other than me. All the blue bush. Track is good. Nice day. Alright, well I've been gone an hour now from Morgan. As you can see, the terrain is a little bit different with a few more trees. I've covered 70k, and anyone with a CRF would know that after about 70 or 80k the first notch on the fuel gauge goes, particularly a rally. So I've done 70k and it's still showing full, so that's unbelievably different compared to the highway. I'll probably get my usual 300k from a tank, I would say. Yeah, about 110k in now, and it's just starting to get these little, well, I guess you'd call them tiny little dunes. Just little sand drifts like this, and it's still really hard packed underneath. Someone's been through here on a bike, it looks like. But yeah, the whole track is more or less covered in this fine layer of sand now. There's obviously a station up here. This must be Pine Valley, I think it is. I didn't see a sign for it. Oh yes, Pine Valley Station. Alright, here's our turn, Dangalli. There you go, Burra, Yunta. Alright. Well, the track's a bit thinner now. It's all changed again now. It's just about all sand. Well, a hard pack, like I've said before, it's hard packed, but there's a layer of sand. This whole road has been incredibly good. There's no corrugations. Pretty smooth. It's obviously a maintained road. Back further there was some road works, fixing up a few bog holes. Just cruising along about 75 I'm doing, between 70 and 80 as a general rule. You could fly along here, you could do whatever you wanted. It's pretty good. Right, I've just arrived at the Dangalli Wilderness Protection Area. I'm right on the, what are we? Western boundary track, so I must be on the western boundary. Alright. Righto folks, I've just pulled up for a sec. I'm probably pretty close to Canopus, but this is what it's been like. I don't know if you can see that. Sort of, it's hard under there, but it's just this soft layer, and I've been travelling at about 70 or 80. The bike moves around a bit, but I'm sure, look, you could do 100. You can see there, it's hard underneath. So it just drifts around a bit. It's actually very good for your sand, easy sand skills. So it's beautiful red sand. Just had a breather. Just almost at Canopus, however you wish to pronounce it. Oops, I'm stuck now. So there we go. Just got to get going now. It's easier doing 70 than bloody 20. But if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll see how bad I am in soft sand. It all comes down to confidence and the speed. Okay, I've just arrived at the Canopus homestead, or Dangalli campground, Tipperary hut track. That's what I'm doing next. But first, I have to stop up here and put fuel in. Not get fuel, there's nowhere to get fuel here. Oh, there's a kangaroo on the track, I think. Oh yeah, there he is. Couple of skippies. That's the runway. There's the old homestead over there. I don't think anyone lives there, but I don't know. So this is the spot my wife and I camped up here a few weeks ago on a car trip. Spent a couple of nights up here, it was unreal. So that's why I decided to come back on the bike. But I'm not staying here, I'm pushing on. Once I fuel up, have something to eat. And that's where we camp, right there. Awesome spot. Okay, here we go. 5 litres. Here's one of the best inventions ever. A drink bottle cut. Makes it just so much easier. So I've done 187k, I think it was, to here from Morgan. And on my rally there were 2 notches showing, so I think I would have probably enough for another 80k or so. I've probably used 6 to 7 litres, I would say. Probably 7. This is 5 litres. The spout on this, it doesn't really leak, but it might just have the odd drop, so I've got the examination gloves there just in case I get a bit of petrol. I'd rather it there, and given the age of most adventure riders or blokes, you never know, they could come in handy. This bladder is a liquid containment bladder, but it's an old type. It's got an old spout. They don't use this system anymore. It was brand new when I bought it. I bought it off a bloke for 40 bucks, so I think they're about $120 new, so it works excellent. And this open drink bottle, not my idea. There's an Australian bloke, Shadow 75. He does some really good Outback adventures. Alright, 5 litres has gone in. I'll pack up and then we'll head off to the Tipperary 4-wheel drive track.